Hi, sixth grade. Today I wanted to start our session 11 text features by looking at a student ebook that has really just about where you are. It might be one step ahead with their glossary, but I really want to show you what it looks like and how text features make such a huge difference. So today let's just kind of look through what this student has done. Obviously the table of contents look great. Chapter 1 is great because it's divided up with those subheadings or subtitles. You see that a lot of the information or the keywords or maybe vocab has already been bolded, so those words kind of pop out at you. And then the second part of chapter 1 kind of falls a little short because it's so much white space and so much text on that one page. Chapter 2, great formatting already. I like that we can tell what the title is right under it. Your subheadings or titles are bolded. We know that this whole piece is Clay McMullen. And then again, chapter 2's second page kind of has a more white space than text, whereas this is super text heavy. Chapter 3, same kind of thing. Chapter 4 is a little bit weirdly spaced out in my opinion. And then it has another part about Clay McMullen. And then the glossary. So if you don't have the glossary done, this might be like what you work on today as well, but you should pretty much be at the same exact point as this student. And the information is great. The layout is excellent. The organization, chef's kiss, but text features are so important to engaging your reader, to teaching information in meaningful ways, to basically making your ebook special to you, to your audience. And I want to show you the huge difference that it can make. Okay, so let's look. It's the exact same student. This is just step 2, right? I love the environment is the same, but then they choose this green, right? And they have a subtitle of like, inform yourself. You can come up with your own topic and title if you want. The table of contents is the same, except they chose to highlight or change the font color for the chapters. They left the titles black. I like that. Notice how the greens or the theme of this has stayed consistent so far. And I like that the headings of the chapters kind of pop out at you. Here's one text feature here of a picture. I like how they made the subheading a little bit bigger and they made it green as well. They even included a sidebar of the vocab. You don't have to include that, but if you want to, that's a great thing to do. So they don't get all the way down to the glossary and have to go back and look. I like that they broke up this chapter 1 into 2 pages, really spaced out their information so it wasn't so overwhelming, and included pictures, and then ended chapter 1 with an infographic. If I was being really picky, which I will be, I think that they should move the infographic to the center and then put this weirdly spaced caption at the bottom in small font. That's my opinion. Chapter 2, again, you see the uniform layout, and there's always going to be a picture up there, which is nice. Finally, they've included a picture of Clay McMullen. If you're talking about somebody in your book, you need to include a picture of them, okay? I would say that they should break this up a little bit more and maybe add in right here when they're talking about SeaWorld or they're talking about local charities or an osprey. I want to know what an osprey looks like. They should have a picture of that, okay? Chapter 3 again, uniform layout, love this. I'm missing their subtitles here though. I wish they included those. I like that they photo source this, but again, I think it should be centered and the information below it. And again, they're talking about Alex Lynn, but they need a picture of Alex Lynn. And then chapter 4, excellent. Like keeping up with the uniform or the theme. They have a hyperlink, which will take me to Inconvenient Youth, which is an environmental program. And this is their website. If you are referencing a person or a group of activists who have a website or a Facebook, some type of link, you should hyperlink that. And on today's assignment, I have included like a how-to video. It's literally a minute long, or else I would show you here. You can watch that video as many times as you want to see how you include a hyperlink. Okay. And then last but not least, see, they did a nice job here of including another infographic with the text wrapping around it. And then the glossary, all they changed was obviously like the formatting of it. They stuck to what they did in the table of contents, and they could bold this word, but they also changed the color of it, which I like. Okay. It's a huge difference when you're looking at this type of layout versus this first step. The material is the same. They didn't really even have to revise because they spent so much time revising. And all they had to do was include meaningful text features. So I wanted to show you the example first, and then I want to go through types of text features that you can include that are meaningful to your book. So before we dive into this, I know a lot of you who are doing like animal abandonment, you might want to include billions of pictures of cute puppies and cats because you're talking about animals. Great, cute, engaging, but does it teach anything? Does it make a huge difference in whatever it is that you're talking about in that chapter? Yes, you should include pictures because it's engaging and makes the format look a lot better, but you also need other types of text features that are meaningful or teach information in a new way. Okay, so let's go over some text features. One, boxes. Not only do they have an image of LeBron, but they have this kind of formatted box. So you would have all of the text here in your chapter, and then include your information that you want to include in a box, right? Resource list. Some of you are doing your last chapters as like ways to stop bullying or projects that are doing something about animal abandonment or any type of resource page. This is where you should include a list of links to websites, blogs, videos, anything that can help your reader learn more. I know a lot of times in the back of our nonfiction books, they have those 2 pages. That's a great thing that you should add into yours. Obviously, illustrations, photographs, and diagrams are really important. Not only are they engaging, but if you're talking about how Malala was shot in the face coming home from school and you're including the bus that she was riding on or including the diagram of where the bullet went through her head, not only is it like a shock factor for your audience, but it's also creating an image and a deeper understanding for them to really imagine what happened. Okay. Charts, graphs, infographics. You can always Google your topic or the kind of information you want to find and then include the word infographic right after. I love this information, like how it's formatted, because it's a little bit more powerful than saying, you know, these states, like listing out the states over here and saying this is the worst state to live in for bullying. Okay, but actually seeing it on the map, seeing where that is, it's a little bit easier for me to read, but it's also, it sticks with me a little bit more. I'm not going to remember a list. I'm going to remember that image. Same thing with states without bullying laws, and then the first state to have one. That's a really powerful image, and it sticks out to me because I'm like, oh, I live in Michigan, and they don't have bullying laws. It sticks with readers, sticks with your audience a little bit more, and it teaches information in a different way that your writing doesn't. And then glossaries. At the end, you can do the text bars. I kind of think it's annoying to format and it's a little distracting if you want to include other text features. But if you think that it's important to do that, go for it. It's your ebook, not mine. But I also love how this is right at the end. One thing I want to talk about for glossaries, notice how it's in alphabetical order. It doesn't go by chapter, it goes by ABCs, okay? So that's one note to tell you about glossaries, that when you're going through and pulling out the vocabulary words for your glossaries, it does need to be formatted in ABC order, okay? Another one is timelines. If you're talking about chronological development, how your topic or how an issue or some type of project has developed over time, finding a timeline to explain that is really engaging, and it makes things a little bit more clear-cut than trying to read your text and put it into a mental timeline. Seeing it is a little easier. Hyperlinks, we talked about this. You need it. Look at the video that I've attached to Google Classroom. If you have questions or concerns on how to do this, I am more than happy to show you. Okay. Here's my chapter on girls being denied an education, or at least a part of it. The text is great. I've already revised it, but now I get to kind of break it up a little bit more and then add in the box of shocking statistics. And then I formatted it nicely with an image of a quote right above it. I think it's more engaging, it's easier to read, and I take a little bit more of information away right away rather than that. Okay, let's go over some of our takeaways. Don't throw in a random picture of a cute dog. It has to be meaningful. It has to teach information in a new or special way. It has to directly relate to whatever it is you're talking about in your chapter. Add a few text features to your ebook. Make sure that they make sense. If you need to do more research to write one more chapter, do that. But by the end of today, you should have, and it says 6 chapters, no, you should have all 4 of your chapters done, and you should have text features. Okay, so I'm going to be grading. Let's go look in Google Classroom. I'm going to be grading that all of your chapters are done and that you have included text feature in each chapter. Okay, so there's at least one text feature. Really, there should be a few in each chapter, and all of your chapters have been drafted. Okay, I included the before and after examples. If you wanted to go back and look, I included the video on how to use hyperlinks, how to insert a hyperlink in your Google slide, and obviously the lesson. If you have any questions or concerns, please email me or stop in at office hours Monday and Wednesday from 11 to 12. Have a great day. I'll talk to you soon.